Okay, I thought I'd actually show you what a vacuum tube looks like. These are some I saved. I don't know what these are. These are the latest generation of vacuum tubes. Before they went to transistors. I'm going to show you some transistors in a second too. Now there's one. You see, they all look a little bit different inside. They're different. Each of those little pins, connect to something inside. The filament, the cathode, the grid, the plate. They all hooked. The earlier tubes were much bigger than this, and this is probably a mid '60s construction, something like that. One's come out in the '50s. I've got a broken one here. I'm going to show you in a second. Where is it? I don't see it. I'll show it to. You see what's inside of these tubes. I've got a couple old vacuum tube manuals. The RCA manuals that give you the specifications on each vacuum tube. There's actually quite a number of them. These go back back in the tubes were first about 1900, 1920 when they started making them. They were big, humongous tubes, and the later ones evolved down to this size tube. I think it's something I pulled out of an old radio. Because when I was a kid, I used to love to, take old tube radios. I just uninstall all the parts and stuff, save the tubes, uninstall the parts. And I think back, if I'd saved a few, what those things would be worth today. Because I've seen a few on eBay that they're selling for a small fortune. I've got those two shortwave radios that, if they were working, I could probably get quite a bit of money for them. I don't really want to part with them. I'll probably have to will them to my daughter or something. My daughter will have no idea what they are. If my daughter ends up with some of the shortwave radios, know that you can probably put them on eBay and probably get quite a bit for them. Now let me show you. These are some power MOSFETs. Ones I got off Amazon. They're like IR. I don't know. These are some smaller. These are the regular bipolar transistors, like 2N 2222, 2N 3904s. That got class of. And with other ones, they're basically audio low RF transistors. That's it basically. Low power. They're good. They get maybe 500 milliwatts or something like that. And these MOSFETs. They'll handle a fair amount of power if you put the proper heat sink on there. I've got some other ones that I'll show you sometime. I want to show you this. I have no idea why I'm showing you this. I showed this years ago. I got this bill with that drawn on there. I just kept it because it looks stupid. Somebody put something on the back. I have no idea the meaning of that or the mindset of the person that did that. Somebody just being goofy, I guess. I have no idea why I'm showing it. It's just in the same drawer with my transistors. Tubes I'll pull back. It's unlikely they'd ever get used in anything because there's only a few things, only a few pieces of antique equipment that uses vacuum tubes. Don't remember the tubes that were in those tube radios. I think they're of this design. They're not of the older design. They went through about 3 or 4 different generations of vacuum tubes. Some of the old car radios used vacuum tubes. They'd have a vibrator in there. If it would like a relaxation oscillator. So they could get the power. The 150 or 300 volts for the plate circuit for the tubes. Some of the old Motorola's worked that way. They had a little vibrator in there that would be in a can with rubber so that it wouldn't shake it off apart. I don't know why I'm thinking of those. I think I had one like that. It was an old tube type car radio. They actually go back to the 6-volt days. There was actually some 6-volt ones. They actually had some vacuum tubes that the actual plate circuit would actually be like 12 volts DC. They would actually work on that low voltage. They actually had some tubes that would do that. Don't remember the numbers on them. I think they were fairly expensive tubes. Anyway, I just my boomer nostalgia vacuum tubes. Bye-bye.